Good morning. I'd like to read the opening statement. This is to advise the general public that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled Senator Byron M. Baer Open Public Meeting Act, New Jersey Casino Control Commission on December 7, 2022, filed with the Secretary of State at the State House in Trenton an annual meeting schedule. On December 8, 2022, copies were mailed to subscribers. Any member of the public who wishes to address the commission will be given the opportunity to do so before the commission adjourns for the day. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone who's joining us in person and remotely today. For this meeting, we are permitting meeting participants who wish to do so to continue to address the Commission through remote technology. We are also permitting in-person participation. The public meeting room is and therefore open, and the appropriate health measures are being taken. We will, however, continue to stream our public meetings. The public is able to listen through the access provided on the Commission's website, as well as through our YouTube channel. We will accept public comments via email. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@cc.nj.gov. I will repeat that. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now and any time throughout the meeting, ending at the time of adjournment. This meeting is being transcribed as well as recorded, and minutes will be available on our website in due course. To meeting participant callers, I ask that you follow the instructions provided with the web link or audio calling code and place your phones on mute until your matter is called. Also, please remember to identify yourself before speaking.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the purposes of the record, please answer when I call your name. Commissioner Molyneux.
Present.
Vice Chair Cooper.
Present.
And Chairman Pelosi.
Present.
Thank you.
Before we get into the agenda of the meeting, I do want to read one little item. Beginning in 2017, the Commission has dedicated a section of its annual report to the Governor and the Legislature to put a spotlight on Atlantic City. This section of the annual report features a nonprofit group that has worked diligently, often behind the scenes, to improve Atlantic City for the benefit of residents and visitors alike. In our 2021 annual report, we had the pleasure of spotlighting the African American Heritage Museum of Southern New Jersey. Its founder and president, Mr. Ralph Hunter, is here today, and earlier before the meeting, we took some pictures of Mr. Hunter and presenting him with a copy of our annual report. In 2013, after years of maintaining the museum in Newtonville, New Jersey, Mr. Hunter opened the museum's second location here in Atlantic City as the anchor for the Noyes Arts Garage of Stockton University. Mr. Hunter has dedicated himself to sharing and showcasing national, regional, and local artists. As a true historian, he is tireless in his efforts to highlight African American history, including that of Atlantic City, and is one of Atlantic City's greatest advocates. We are honored to spotlight his work with the African American Heritage Museum, both in our annual report and today. And I want to congratulate Mr. Hunter on a job well done. And at this time, I know Vice Chair Cooper Commissioner Cooper has a few words to say, as well as Commissioner Molyneux. Vice Chair Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I echo everything that our chairman just stated about Ralph Hunter, but I would like to add a couple of my own comments. Ralph Hunter is an extraordinary individual that I have had the pleasure and honor of knowing for many, many years. and an individual who was dedicated and devoted so many years to this museum, this wonderful asset and addition to Atlantic County, both locations. This museum, created by Ralph Hunter, is very special and, quite frankly, lucky. Now, you might ask, why am I using the word lucky? Let me explain. Many times something is created. It could be a song, a piece of art, a building, a monument. The list of possibilities and projects is endless. This museum was not just created by Ralph Hunter, but more importantly, for the past 20 years, it has been maintained, it has been sustained by Ralph Hunter, with his love and his passion that makes this museum such a prominent and outstanding attraction, both locations in our area. And so it gives me the great honor also to extend my personal and sincere congratulations to Ralph Hunter on being featured in our annual report. And also, speaking of congratulations, please join me in wishing a very happy birthday to Ralph Hunter, who celebrated a very, very special birthday. I won't give the date, well, not the date, the age, but who celebrated a very special birthday this past Monday. Ralph, my dear friend, a very happy birthday and a happy and healthy new year.
Commissioner Molyneux?
Mr. Hunter, good afternoon. I take great pleasure today in congratulating you for making a significant achievement in our community. And I'm sorry, it's not afternoon yet. Good morning. And across the county. I find your work resourceful and educational. You have been given a deserving recognition for the leader you are in our community. As old folks used to say, you make us proud. Also, I want to commend the chairman personally, as I most recently learned, still a newcomer here, that this was one of his initiatives when he came aboard. Mr. Chairman, it is a very worthwhile initiative. Ralph, I end by saying you have my warmest, sincerest, and heartiest congratulations. There I placed all three adjectives together. Cheers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Back to regular order, Mr. Chairman. Matters discussed in closed session this morning included employee key license applications and approval of the closed session minutes of December 7, 2022. The first matter for your consideration on the public agenda is the ratification of the minutes of December 7, 2022.
Are there any questions for council or corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to ratify the minutes of the December 7th, 2022 meeting.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 2, pursuant to statutory directive, is the election of the vice chair.
Is there a motion?
Recording in progress.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Elizabeth Cooper as Vice Chair of the Commission until the reorganization meeting in January 2024.
I'll second that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Mr. Chair.
Congratulations, Vice
Thank-
Chair Cooper.
Thank
Commissioner
you,
Cooper.
thank you so much, and to Mr. Chairman and Commissioner Molyneux, thank you both very much. You're welcome. Thank you.
Item number 3 are applications for initial casino key employee licenses. They include Ina Botang Jaima, Vincent E. Carlisle, Robert V. Cavoto, Christopher D. Crane, Arnold D. DeMarco, Thomas J. Fulmer, James W. Goodwin, Nicholas S. Pera, Christina Perez, also known as Christina Perez Rios, Noah C. Sinzowski, Lydia E. Waters, also known as Lydia E. Rios. There are 7 matters that have been reviewed. The division has stated its position, which is no objection. Staff concurs, and those matters include Carlisle, Kavoda, Crane, Goodwin, Perez, Szynski, and Waters, and staff recommends that those initial Casino Key employee licenses be granted.
Are there any questions on any of these matters?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the 7 initial Casino Key employee licenses.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. With respect to Ina Boateng Jima, Arnold DeMarco, Thomas Fulmer, and Nicholas Pera, the division has raised an objection with respect to those applications. Staff has reviewed and recommend that those matters be remanded to the contested case process.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to remand for a hearing 4 initial Casino Key employee license applications.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 4 are applications for resubmitted Casino Key employee licenses and/or for qualification. They include Bessie A. Sacco and Joseph C. Watson. As each are key qualifiers, I will call them separately to facilitate a roll call vote. First, Bessie A. Sacco.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license and qualification.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Mullen, oh, you need a second, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry. Do I have a second for that motion?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Just note for the record that her resubmitted Casino Key license and qualification position is as Vice President, Chief Counsel, Regional Operations, Caesars Entertainment, Inc. The next matter is Joseph C. Watson in the capacity of Senior Vice President of National Marketing for Boardwalk 1000 LLC.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 5 are approvals through delegation of authority between December 1, 2022 and December 31, 2022, pursuant to resolution number 2201-1211B. Licensing manager Pat Eeler is here to review those matters with you. However, no action is required.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Patrick Eeler, Licensing and Financial Evaluation Manager, appearing on behalf of the Commission. Between December 1st and December 31st, 2022, the staff of the Commission's Regulatory Affairs Division granted the following approvals via its delegated authority. On December 1st, 2022, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Jessica T. DeStefano, also known as Jessica T. Tran, for a poker shift manager position at Borgata. On December 6, 2022, the temporary casino key employee license was granted to Victoria H. Larcombe for a dual-rate casino cashiering supervisor position at Ocean Casino. On December 8, 2022, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Frederick W. Hoffman for a Director of IT Infrastructure and Operations position at Resorts Atlantic City. On December 14, 2022, A temporary casino key employee license was granted to Eduardo J. Alvarado Flores for a dual-rate assistant shift manager position, table games at Ocean Casino. Effective December 22nd, 2022, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Kevin Mason for a dual-rate supervisor, slot services / shift manager position at Tropicana Atlantic City. Mr. Mason had previously been granted a temporary casino key employee license for a different position title at the same casino. The approval for the new position title will expire on the same date as the original approval. On December 27th, 2022, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Lee G. Calabrese for a security shift supervisor position at Resorts Atlantic City, to Tiana M. Harrington for a dual-rate slot supervisor / shift manager position at Bally's Atlantic City, and to Shauna L. Thompson, also known as Shauna L. Rogers, for a dual-rate casino cashiering supervisor position at Ocean Casino. This memorializes the noted approval that were granted by the Commission's Division of Regulatory Affairs via its delegated authority during this period. No further Commission action is required. Thank you.
Item number 6 for your consideration is the request for inactivation of casino key employee licenses. Again, Patrick Eeler will review those matters with you.
Thank you. The following 5 individuals have requested to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list. This is for a period of up to 5 years in lieu of filing a casino key employee license review application. They are Jocelyn A. Allison, also known as Jocelyn Marie Agnolini, Leonard R. Dolson Jr., Deborah S. Evans, also known as Deborah S. Doe, Mark J. Evans, and Kathleen M. McSweeney, also known as Kathleen M. Kuhn. Commission staff has reviewed these requests and recommends that you grant the requested relief.
Are there any questions on any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the requested relief and order that the 5 casino key employee licenses be inactivated.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 7 is consideration of the lapsing of casino key employee licenses. Again, Patrick Eeler will address those.
At this time, there are 2 individuals for your consideration to lapse their casino key employee license. In each of these cases, the casino key employee license review application filing deadline has passed, and the individual has not filed a casino key employee license review application, nor requested to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list. Based on these facts, staff recommends that the casino key employee licenses of the following individuals be deemed to have lapsed: Paul A. Farrow and Ishrat Jahan.
Are there any questions on either of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to find that the 2 casino key employee licenses lapsed pursuant to NJAC 19:41A-6.1F of the regulations.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 8 is consideration of the initial application of Marjorie Najera for a casino key employee license. Senior Counsel Teresa Pipinelli will address that matter with you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Ms. Najera, would you like to go to my seat? Good morning. For your consideration this morning is a stipulation of settlement in the initial application of Marjorie Najera for her casino key employee license. If approved, it will grant her key employee license through January of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. I note that Ms. Najera is present, and I would ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. And we also request that if the applicant wishes to speak, that the applicant be sworn in prior to doing so. Thank you.
Would you like to be heard today? Did you-
You don't have to.
No.
No, thank you. Okay. Are there any questions for counsel on this matter?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Marjorie Najera for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9 is consideration of the initial application of Douglas Morrell for a casino key employee license. Again, Senior Counsel Pimpinelli will review that matter with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration as the initial application of Douglas Morrell, there is a stipulation of settlement in this matter. If his application and stipulation are approved, he will be granted a casino key employee license through January of 2028. Mr. Morrell was notified of today's proceedings. You have staff's memo and recommendation. And I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. And for the record, Mr. Morrell is not in person or
Correct.
on the phone.
Correct.
Thank you. Are there any questions for counsel on this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Douglas Morrell for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 10 is consideration of the initial application of Thomas Schaefer for a casino key employee license. Again, we have Senior Counsel Teresa Pimpinelli, which will address that matter.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is a stipulation of settlement in the initial application of Thomas Schaefer for his casino key employee license. If approved, Mr. Schaefer's license will be valid through January of 2028. Mr. Schaefer was notified of today's meeting. You have staff's memo and recommendation on this matter, and I would just ask that counsel for the division enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Again, Mr. Schaefer is not here or on the phone as well, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Thomas Schaefer for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 11 is consideration of the initial application of Rennie Rooms for a casino key employee license. Senior Counsel Pimpinelli will move that forward.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing again on behalf of the Commission. For your consideration is another stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Rainey Brooms for her casino key employee license. If approved, Ms. Brooms' casino key employee license will be valid through January of 2028. Ms. Brooms was notified of today's meeting. You have staff's memo and recommendation on this matter, and I would ask the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Mr. Brooms is not here, or we're telephonically here as well. Thank you. Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Rainey Brooms for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 12 is consideration of the initial application of Serena McBall for a casino key employee license. Again, Senior Counsel Pimpinelli will review it with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel for the Commission. For your consideration is Ms. McBall's initial application for a casino key employee license. It has resulted in a stipulation of settlement that's now before you for your approval. Ms. McBall was notified of today's meeting, but is unable to be here. You have staff's memo and recommendation on this matter, and I would just ask the division to please enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
And Ms. Ball is not here in
Correct.
attendance or telephonically. Thank you. Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Serena McBall for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 13 is consideration of the initial application of Jacob Scanlon for a casino key employee license. Again, we have Senior Counsel Teresa Pimpinelli to review that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. Your final stipulation of settlement this morning is that of Mr. Scanlon. If approved, his casino key employee license will be valid through January of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Scanlon was notified of today's proceedings. I would just ask counsel for the division to please enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further to add to this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you very much.
And for the record, Mr. Scanlon is not here.
Correct.
In person or telephonically. Correct. Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Jacob Scanlon for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 14 is consideration of the initial casino key employee licensure and qualification of Raymond Stefanali to serve as Vice President, Online Gaming Marketing of AC Ocean Walk LLC. This matter was initiated by a petition, PRN dated May 2, 2022, seeking the temporary initial casino key employee licensure and temporary qualification of Mr. Stefanelli as indicated. You considered the matter at your May 11, 2022 public meeting, and the temporary licensure and temporary qualification was granted at that time. We are now here for consideration of his initial casino key employee licensure and plenary qualification. We do have counsel for AC Ocean on Zoom, and we have counsel for the division present. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that they respectively enter their appearances and address the matter directly.
Good morning, Chairman Pelosi, Vice Chair Cooper, and Commissioner Mullin. I'm Joseph Mullin, General Counsel for Ocean Casino Resort, appearing on behalf of Raymond S. Stefanelli and Ocean. I reviewed the resolution regarding the initial casino employee license and plenary qualification of Mr. Stefanelli to serve as Vice President of Online Gaming and Marketing for Ocean, and no objection in form and substance to the resolution, and I respectfully ask that the resolution be approved as written. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's report dated December 7th, 2022, recommending the plenary casino key employee licensure and qualification of Mr. Stefanelli. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objection. And the division respectfully requests that the granted relief be granted, or requested relief be granted, excuse me. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and A, grant an initial casino key employee license to Raymond Stefanelli pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B, and B, find Mr. Stefanelli qualified to serve as Vice President of Online Gaming Marketing for AC Ocean AC Walk LLC in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, can we skip to item number 16, which involves the same parties, and then return to item 15?
Yes.
With your permission, item number 16 is a petition of AC Ocean Walk LLC for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license to Michael Palermo pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89E, and to permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President, Player Development, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by a petition, PRN 3402201, dated December 6, 2022, seeking Mr. Palermo's temporary casino key employee license and temporary qualification to serve in the position indicated, Vice President, Player Development of AC Ocean Walk LLC. Again, you do have counsel present, both via Zoom and in person, and with your permission, I would ask that they enter their appearances on this matter and proceed accordingly.
Once again, Joseph Muskett, General Counsel for Ocean Casino Resort, appearing on behalf of Michael Palermo and Ocean. I have reviewed the resolution, the issuance of a temporary key employee license to Mr. Palermo. I have no objection in form and substance to the resolution, and I respectfully ask the resolution to be as written. Thank you for your consideration of this matter.
Good morning again, Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's response of no objection dated December 29, 2022. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution in this matter and has no objection. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the petition and have a temporary casino key employee license to, issue a temporary casino key employee license to Michael G. Palermo pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4 and NJSA 5:12-89E, and NJSA 19:41A-5.3, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President Player Development for AC Ocean Walk LLC, pending plenary qualification, in accordance with the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 15 is the joint petition of Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license with multi-casino endorsement for George Goldhoff, and for permission for him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of property president pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by a petition, PRN 3562201, dated December 20, 2022, seeking Mr. Goldhoff's temporary casino key employee licensure and temporary qualification to serve as property president for both Boardwalk 1000 and for HR Atlantic City. Again, council, we do have council present telephonically as well as in person, and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that they enter their appearances and address the matter directly to the commission.
Good morning. This is Nanette Horner, Vice President, General Counsel for Boardwalk 1000, appearing on behalf of Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC and George Goldhoff for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license with multi-casino endorsement for George Goldhoff and permission for him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of property president. I have reviewed the draft resolution. I find it to be acceptable, and I respectfully request that the commission approve the requested relief.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's response of no objection dated January 9th, 2023 to the requested relief. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution in this matter and has no objections. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the joint petition and issue a temporary casino key employee license to George Goldhoff pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B, NJSA 5:12-89E, and NJAC 19:41A-5.3, with a multi-casino endorsement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of property president for Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC, pending plenary qualification, subject to the conditions in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6 and 2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 17 is the joint petition of Premier Entertainment AC LLC and Bally's Corporation, requesting permission for Kim B. Lee to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Executive Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 3482203, dated December 14, 2022, seeking the temporary qualification of Ms. Lee to serve in the capacity indicated, which is Executive Vice President, Chief Legal Officer of Bally's Corporation. We do have counsel present, both counsel are present, and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that they enter their appearances and address the matter.
Lynn Kaufman, Cooper Levinson, on behalf of Premier Entertainment LLC, AC LLC, and Bally's Corporation, and also good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioner. As stated, I am respectfully requesting, per the petition, temporary qualification of Kim Barker Lee to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Officer of Bally's Corporation prior to plenary qualification. I have reviewed the draft resolution, have no objections. The division had one comment, which I agree with, and I respectfully request of your approval. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's response of no objection dated December 29th, 2022 to the requested relief. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution as noted by counsel with the one change as no objection. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Kim B. Lee on a temporary basis and prior to her plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Executive Vice President, Chief Legal Officer for Bally's Corporation, subject to the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1C, NJSA 5:12-89B 1 and 2, and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I assume that Mr. Davis and Mr. Leonard are not on the call. Okay, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we did have a request from counsel for Mr. Davis. He has a conflicting court matter this morning and asked that the matter be held. So with your permission, we would request that the commission recess and ready hold at 12 o'clock to resume to consider the matter of application for suspension in State of New Jersey versus Marshall Davis.
Then we will recess till 12 o'clock. Correct. Thank you.
Ready to resume?
We are ready.
Mr. Chairman, let me call the matter of application for suspension, item number 18, application for suspension in State of New Jersey versus Marshall Davis, docket number 22-0004-RC. Senior Counsel Teresa Pipinelli will review that matter with you. I will note, Mr. Davis, if you would remove your hat. Thank you.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners again. Teresa Pipinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is a complaint filed by the division seeking the immediate suspension of Mr. Davis's temporary casino key employee license. The division alleges that Mr. Davis engaged in conduct which is disqualifying under the Casino Control Act. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. I note that Mr. Davis is represented by counsel, and I would ask counsel for Mr. Davis and the division to proceed and enter their appearance.
Good afternoon. This is Attorney James Leonard Jr. I represent Marshall Davis, who was with us virtually.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On January 4th, 2023, the division filed a complaint and application seeking the immediate suspension of the temporary casino key employee license of respondent Marshall Davis. As set forth more fully in the division's complaint, Marshall Davis was charged on December 16th, 2022, with one count of financial facilitation of criminal activity, a third-degree offense in violation of NJSA 2C:21-25B1, one count of theft by unlawful taking, a third-degree offense in violation of NJSA 2C:20-3A, and one count of theft by deception, a third-degree offense in violation of NJSA 2C:20-4. These charges are currently pending adjudication. These criminal charges and the underlying conduct are disqualifying pursuant to Sections 86C1, 86D, and 86G of the Casino Control Act. Moreover, given the alleged conduct and criminal charges, respondent lacks the good character, honesty, and integrity required of casino key employee licensure by Section 89B2 of the Casino Control Act. Accordingly, the division respectfully requests the immediate suspension of respondent's temporary casino key employee license pending the final resolution of the division's complaint. Thank you.
Mr. Leonard?
Thank you. I represent Mr. Davis, and I understand that the mission and the division have a belief regarding charges that may be pending and have not yet disposed of. I subscribe to a different school of thought, having practiced criminal law for more than 2 decades here in Atlantic City. I look at an allegation such as this as a charging document, and I believe very strongly in the presumption of innocence that Mr. Davis enjoys until such time that he would be adjudicated guilty of committing any offense. And I think that it bears looking at the actual allegation that Mr. Davis is charged with, not necessarily the offense, but the actual allegation. It is alleged that on or about January 10, 2022 in Atlantic City, that he allowed an individual known to him, someone that he believed had a legitimate trucking business, to deposit a check into his checking account. That check was ultimately not honored. There is some dispute on why that was. But Mr. Davis's entire role in this was to allow someone that was known to him to place a check that Mr. Davis thought was legitimate, because this individual is a legitimate person, as Mr. Davis knows them. And Mr. Davis had absolutely no criminal intent. There was no monies that were received by Mr. Davis or this other individual. And I think that this is the way this is ultimately going to play out. I would say that I don't think that Mr. Davis is going to be found guilty by any means, whether it's pleading guilty, being found guilty of any criminal wrongdoing. And that's going to take some time for this matter to wind its way through the criminal justice system and then way through the court system. And I think that it would be unfair and unjust to Mr. Davis, an individual who has no criminal history and impeccable character, but for this allegation. And if Mr. Davis is guilty of what I've presented here today to the commission, I don't know that that changes, respectfully. I don't know that that makes Mr. Davis someone not worthy or of holding that license, or not worthy of working in the casino industry, which I do understand is a privilege and not a right. But if we look beyond what the actual charge is, and we look into what the actual allegation is, I think we have to look a little further. And I think we look at someone, Mr. Davis is someone that has, again, no criminal history. He is well into his 30s. I would ask the commission to consider whatever conditions they would deem that you would deem appropriate, but allowing this young man to continue to work, support himself, support his family, certainly keep a close eye on where this case goes. And if Mr. Davis is convicted or additional evidence is brought to light that would indicate that he played a different role than what I'm representing here today, then obviously I would recommend that you review it. But that would conclude my remarks. I'm expanding upon remarks that were contained in a letter submitted on January 5th. And my final remark is thanking you for the opportunity to address you and allowing myself and Mr. Davis to appear virtually. We are grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Division, any rebuttal?
Yes. According to Section 86D of the Act, the commission shall deny a casino license on the basis of current prosecution and pending charges for any offense that is disqualifying under Section 86C, as in this case. So although he is not, the case is still pending, it is still, it would still be a denial of the casino key employee license on the basis of those pending charges. Additionally, according to the Act, he has the option to defer his application for casino key employee licensure until the charges are resolved in criminal court.
Thank you.
Additionally, this is just an internal step, and the final decision of whether or not he is granted a casino key employee license will happen after his criminal charges are adjudicated, as right now he just currently has the temporary casino key employee license.
Thank you. Mr. Davis, did you want to make a statement?
Yes, that would be up to his counsel,
Counsel.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Leonard, did you want Mr. Davis to?
I certainly have no objection if Davis wishes to address the commission.
He would need to be sworn, excuse me, one second, Mr. Davis. You would need to be sworn in with an understanding that anything that you do say can and will be used against you in any future prosecution. So understand that dynamic before you submit yourself to any statements. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Nance will swear you in.
Would you state your name for the record?
Marshall Davis.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Proceed, Mr. Davis.
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come here and explain myself. Like my counsel was saying, I had no idea the situation that was going on. I wish I was a little brighter and not allow myself to get caught in a situation. But this job has definitely changed my life for the better. And I'm at work every day. I work hard. My bosses, my coworkers, they all see it when I'm there. I'm always bright. I have a smile on my face at all times. And this job has done a lot for me. And I just would appreciate it if I can just continue to work with my key license until I'm found not guilty. That's pretty much all I can say. But I definitely do apologize for all of this.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Mr. Chairman, do you mind
Yes.
if I add something?
Please.
Thank you. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. I just wanted to emphasize that at this procedural posture of this matter, the respondent's guilt or innocence is not before the Casino Control Commission. That is for the criminal process to play out. There, as always, is a presumption of innocence until he is found otherwise. At this stage, the division staff for the interim step of suspending his temporary casino key employee license pursuant to Section 86C of the Act because there are pending charges and conduct for disqualifying criminal charges. And again, this is not a final step, it is an interim step pending a full revocation hearing to be heard before the Casino Control Commission, which such hearing may be deferred until after the criminal process, which is, of course, respondent's right under Section 86D of the Act. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for counsel? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the division's application to suspend Marshall Davis's temporary casino key employee license and remand the matter for a contested case hearing before the commission.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your appearances. Ms. Pimpinelli will be back in touch with you, Mr. Leonard and Mr. Davis.
Thank you for your courtesies. Thank you.
Thank you.
In accordance with Resolution 22120703, the next closed session shall be held on Wednesday, February 8, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. in the Commission offices.
This is the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak? Ms. Fauntleroy, do we have any email questions?
Mr. Chairman, I have been advised that we do not.
The public portion is now closed. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make that motion.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.